Live from Wednesday night, the insert epic intro, like first down, rant, right? Like we'll do like a montage of just people saying first down rant. Right?
Yeah, just like takes up the whole show.
Oh, it'd be
doing,
great if we had that. Hello everyone, Ramley and other NFL family. Peo Time and Rams House here for Wednesday night. First down Rams. I'm Peo Time. This is Rams House. Rams House, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm just impressed that you got that point perfect to pointing to me on the digital side of things. It wasn't mirrored the wrong way. That means you're on fire here.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. If I got it wrong, I would have just been like,
yeah, just play it off.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do, right?
You have to. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk some Rams here.
Yeah,
I'm more excited for this than Thanksgiving right now because we're talking about the Rams, and that's always a blast. Talking about it with you and the awesome people here in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Like we got a lot of people in the chat. We got Strikers Corner, we got ATAK Beats, we got or Attack Beats, I think is what he said. Sportsaholic. We got you in the chat here. We got Ram Fan Attack Pod, and we got Porter in here. So, Eric just popped in here as well. Awesome. So thank you everybody who's in here watching with us. It's always a pleasure talking Rams with you guys.
Always. And speaking of talking Rams, dude, there's so much to talk about.
Seriously.
Oh man. So the question is like, where do we begin? And we're going to talk about the roster moves. We're going to talk about the mainstream media reaction. We'll definitely, dissect this Rams Panthers game. I know you had a fantastic game preview. Everyone, make sure you go watch that on Rams House's channel. But let's start with this. What has your just overall vibe been on the Rams this week? I mean, it's been cool seeing people talking about them as the best team in football. It's not every day you see that. And even like you go back to like the Rams Super Bowl season in 2021, they didn't have this kind of media hype, behind them. But yeah, what have your thoughts been this week?
My thoughts, I've been riding high. We hold the number 1 seed at the moment right now. An amazing victory in prime time. And I think one of the funniest things for me, I know I sent this to you guys in the chat, but for me this week, seeing the amount of people who are talking about Puka Nacua inserting in the A, B, or C or in the C gap for the Rams and going out on a route like it's a revelation. But the Rams have been doing this for a while. I think that's been hilarious just to be seeing the amount of people that are like, that's such a smart idea doing that. So that was funny. But yeah, having that big primetime statement win, to see that Kobe Durant pick 6, I feel like the vibes couldn't be any higher right now for the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm just trying to soak it in. Like this is fun times to be a Rams fan.
Absolutely. It's definitely like, it's not every day that your team kind of gets this media attention or has this kind of hype behind them. And what I appreciate is in what has been a very weird NFL season, right? Like there's been lots of upsets and teams that you thought were good, but they're not. And the teams you thought were bad, but now they're good. And if you look at the Rams have been one of the most, if not the most consistent teams all season long. True. I think in a season that is very inconsistent, the Rams' consistency has served them well. And I hope that, moving forward, that continues, to be the case. And I had a friend talk to me. It was funny. I was talking to him, and he's a passive football fan. And he literally was like, oh, like, how are the Rams doing? Right? That's your team. And I said, yeah, that's my team. And I confidently said, I'm like, to be honest, they're the best team in football right now. And he's like, oh, really? And then he like pulled out his phone and he looked at the standings and he's like, oh, the Rams are the best team in football right now. Like, yeah. So it's cool, having, the passive fans of the NFL be like, oh, like watch out, the Rams are good.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole different kind of vibe than 2021, as you were kind of mentioning earlier. Because if you remember 2021, the whole media narrative was all the pressure the Rams had them to win that Super Bowl because of them going like all in, putting all their chips on the table, mortgaging their future. We heard that all year where there was like, even in the Rams wins, they're like, oh, they better keep this up because they put everything in on this team to win the Super Bowl. And it kind of felt like it was that connotation. Whereas now, like, people are like, look at this young, incredible team that the Rams have built, like centered around a veteran quarterback playing his best football.
Yeah.
And I know people get scared about like us being talked up enough to where we're going to play down to our level. I don't really think that's super real unless you, as a team, like the Rams team, is buying into that and like letting that determine who they are. But even what McVay said after the game, where they're like, "What? How does it feel to be the number one seed?" And he said, "Like, who remembers the number one seed with 6 weeks left in the season a year ago?" And that's the mindset this Rams team has. And I'm just glad that they're kind of staying disciplined and focused like that.
I love when he said that because it shows you that, like, though us fans are like buying the hype and eating it up and enjoying it, the players are so locked in. The coaches are so locked in of like, okay, yeah, like we're doing pretty good, but yeah, no one remembers the number one seed 12 weeks through the season.
Yeah.
Man, Sean McVay is an awesome coach.
Have you seen those Bills fans who have been like wanting him as their head coach? There's been this wave. Specifically on my feed, I don't even know why, of Bills fans being like, we'll trade 3 first-round picks. We'll trade all our good players except Josh Allen to have Sean McVay, please. And like, I've seen so much respect for McVay this week, especially after that primetime game. So definitely perspective. Like, we are in golden era Rams right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's before we get on to our next topic, we have a couple more people tuning on in. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning on in. Make sure that you hit that like and subscribe, all that good stuff. If you enjoy talking Rams, you're in the right place. This is the stream for you. We got Justin in North Carolina is here. We got David. I know what that, of course, that's the comment I picked. Oh man. We all know what he's talking about. Yeah. Anyway, Rams is here. Eric's here. Jabbar is here. We got Sports Fan here. Porter is still here rocking. Who do you guys want the Rams to play in the playoffs if we made it? Packers, Eagles, or 49ers? Ooh, quick thoughts out of those teams?
At this point, the Packers just don't impress me. I know the Rams' history against the Packers. I don't think McVay's ever beaten LaFleur. But I would pick the Pack. Oh, even the Eagles kind of seem tempting, but I'd go Packers.
Okay, to be honest, I go Eagles because I want the Rams to beat the Eagles.
That's a good point.
Sirianni in the playoffs. I really
want that. We know it's on the way. On the way.
Oh yeah. Versus Niners. Descindo is saying Rams should do fine. Lions game is the only one I'm worried about. Okay.
I'm honestly not too worried about the Lions, to be honest.
I think they have the talent to keep up with the Rams, but their execution has been hit or miss this year for sure.
I just feel like they're playing a lot lower level football than they have the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I feel like people are relying on what they've been the last couple of years, but this year I haven't been all that impressed.
Okay.
And obviously you don't take teams lightly, but I honestly feel pretty confident about that game. Yeah. And I think a big thing going into that one, obviously several weeks down the line, I think the Rams' run defense is so much better to where we're going to have to force Goff to throw it against us, and I feel confident about that. And our offense, this is the best our offense has looked in years.
Yeah.
So I honestly feel good about that game.
Yeah. We got Juno Trooper here. Good to see you. Striker's Corner still here. And Old Man Ghost, a.k.a. Bruce, saying, did you catch Jake Ellenbogen talking about Witherspoon playing the short side and Forbes the field side? I did see that, and I actually really appreciate Jake's commentary on this subject because, Jake Ellenbogen has been one of the greatest champions of Ahkello Witherspoon. I appreciate it about him. We'll talk more about Witherspoon coming back, but with the way Forbes has been playing, Forbes 500. I'm so excited to see, what this secondary looks like with adding Witherspoon back into it.
Yeah. The Rams are getting healthy at the right time. That's for sure. So, because I haven't seen that video yet, though. No.
Yeah. He posted it earlier today. Yeah.
Okay.
Toughest game is Lions and Seattle. Yeah, definitely Porter. Kyle is here. Always good to see you and hear from you. Let's see. Anyone else I'm missing here? Awesome. Glad you guys are all here. So let's do you want to start with the Rams Panthers, or do you want to start with roster moves? What are you thinking?
Let's start Rams Panthers.
Okay.
I'm excited to talk about this game.
Panthers. So you have arguably the most consistent team in football going against arguably the most inconsistent team in football in the Carolina Panthers. So here, I'll say this. The Panthers have improved from last year a lot, like dramatically. I think their defense is the biggest improvement. Jaycee Horn is a very good corner. You know what? I think Bryce Young has developed as a passer. He still has his games, as we saw on Monday Night Football against the Niners, where he just, he can't figure out what the defense is doing. He's maybe still learning how to read a defense and how, to execute consistently. But I think that as I look at what the Panthers have been this year, when they are at their best, it's when Rico Dowdle is the primary focus of the offense. And I think that the Rams match up really well against that, and especially with Nate Landman getting the extension that he well deserved.
Love it.
I think if the Rams can get a lead, this will be one of those games. The Panthers are not built to come from behind. They are built if they can get a lead and just kind of hang on to it, play ball hog, like win in that style, right? And in the past, we've seen that style work on the Rams. We have not seen that work this year, though, right? The Seahawks tried to hog the ball against the Rams. It didn't work. The Niners tried to do it, in the second matchup with them, and the Rams were able to respond with quick scores, anytime they wanted, right? So I just think on paper the Rams are a nightmare matchup for the Panthers specifically. And I say this with confidence. I expect the Rams to win this game convincingly. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
I think you put it a really good way, that this Panthers team isn't built to win a game like this. I think their best shot would definitely be stifling the Rams offense, which teams have had a hard time doing, and running the ball really well. That's kind of their identity, and then everything else kind of comes off of that. And their defense is definitely improved, but as somebody mentioned in the chat, Jaycee Horn may be out this game with his injury, which is a huge loss. You also had Morig, their safety, who's going to be suspended.
Oh, why did he get suspended?
Yeah, who knows, really? Honestly, I don't even have a guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like you put it in the best way possible. Like, this is a good matchup for the Rams. Their offense, I think, is going to have great success against this defense. They are facing one of the players, or one of their coaches on the Panthers came from the Rams, in Najero Evero. So he's going to know the Rams, but I don't think he's been with the Rams since 2021 or 2022.
Yeah.
So this offense has changed quite a bit, and the Rams offense can adapt and change into whatever it wants to, whatever personnel and whatever identity they want to take on, whether they want to run the ball a lot, air it out, go 13 personnel, or go 11 personnel. So I think the Rams offense is going to be right on track, and I just don't see this Panthers offense putting up more than 20 points against this Rams defense, who just gets after it. And I think that's a big thing too, is like Rams defensive front is scary for a quarterback like Sam Darnold, who's been in the league for a while, or pick your name, like veteran quarterback that's been in the league. And you're going up against a quarterback who's still putting things together, isn't fully progressed into what he was supposed to be. And he hasn't seen a defense like this. And I think the Rams are going to confuse him enough, present enough looks, and get in his face to rattle him, to where I really do think he's going to force a few balls into tight windows. And I feel confident that the Rams are going to get a couple turnovers this game. Yeah. And at that point, I think the Rams are going to run away with it. But you obviously never know. Trap games can happen for sure. I don't see it in this game.
No, I agree. And I don't think there's anything that would lead us to believe that, the Panthers are this sleeping giant team that's going to go on a run here or something like that. There always are those weird games late in the season where like a team surprises with a big upset. And that could totally happen. But if we're talking about handling their business, the Rams got to handle their business here, right? If the Rams were to somehow lose this game, I think it would be the Rams beating themselves, which besides some bad field goal play at the beginning of the year, the Rams have not done, right? They have not been beating themselves. And I look forward to Kyra in this game. I look forward to Puka. And to be honest, I think this is a game that we could see Jordan Whittington finally get his first touchdown.
Yeah.
We could see, maybe Terrence Ferguson gets another touchdown or Kenota Mumpfield. I do think this is a game where Stafford spreads the rock around, and we see a lot of this offense really come to life again.
I agree. This defense, something it struggles with is against the pass in terms of letting up yards, and they've done bad against explosive plays and explosive offenses. And I mean, you see what they did against the 49ers where they got all those turnovers.
Yeah.
To me, except for that one where Jaycee Horn ran across the field and made an incredible read and intercepted the ball, that was a lot more on Brock Purdy making bad decisions than it was like, oh, this defense is daunting. They're going to take the ball away. And so I think really for the Rams, you don't obviously want to turn the ball over at all in any game. But in this game, that's something that the Panthers do well. It's just don't give it right to them like Brock Purdy was doing on a lot of times. And I just think that especially if Jaycee Horn is out and Morg is out, their safety, that's like hits to their secondary. And we were just talking about that last week against the Buccaneers of like, this team doesn't have Jamel Dean and they don't have some of their guys in the secondary. And our receivers, especially like Devontae Adams, was doing really good against some younger guys there, inexperienced guys, which is already hard enough to defend a McVay offense that has all these layers to it. So I like the way this one matches up. And I know the Panthers are good at home more than they are away, but I don't really think that's going to sway things here.
Yep. No, I totally concur. And it's funny because I feel like games like this, sometimes when you're like a content creator, you're always like trying to challenge your own perspective of like, okay, so I think this, what would like if a Panthers YouTuber was making a case for them winning this game, I think that, they would do it as you have to win the field possession game, try and get in a punt fest with them. And the Rams they're built to not be in that kind of game. I don't think it's crazy for the Rams to beat the brakes off them.
Yeah. And I think the Rams have given us reason to believe that they can blow teams out. Yeah. They've done this on so many occasions. Really, outside of that Seahawks game, they've done it like every week for the last handful of weeks, like 5 weeks. And they can do that. And so I think going into a game like this, I don't think it's crazy to think that the Rams can blow them out. I do think that the Panthers, oddly enough, in weird games can play stingy and play just weirdly well. But I don't think the Rams are going to let that happen. Now, again, I go back to that Jets and Rams game in 2020. You never can be too confident about it.
You never know. Yep.
Yeah, you never know. And you have to give that caveat out of the way. I hate predicting blowouts like when I do those game preview videos because it just makes me sound like I have blind faith in my team no matter what. Yeah. But this really does, like this game does feel like a 30-14 game to me by the Rams, and they've given us reason to believe they can do that.
And to be honest, especially with Akello coming back, I think that the Panthers struggle to get in the end zone.
I agree.
Yeah. Like I think 14 points is generous.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe 10's more realistic, but I'll give 14 just in case there's a blown coverage or like I don't know. I agree with you though. Like they really, I know you can't base a team off of one game you watch, but the most recent game against the 49ers, I was like, man, this offense just does not have any rhythm. And giving the ball away when you're inside the opponent's 10-yard line, like there just wasn't anything super inspiring. But obviously, you have to give them their credit. A couple weeks ago, Bryce Young almost put 500 yards of offense on the Falcons. So it's kind of hard to predict what this team will do. I just have confidence in this Rams staff to be able to do really well against the Panthers, and obviously they have the personnel.
Well, and like I said, you have probably the most consistent team in football going against probably the most inconsistent team in football, right? So we'll see who wins out here. A couple of comments coming in hot saying worth the suspension. He was just scared of playing the Rams. pass more than we run. Porter says Rams 48-20 over the Panthers. We got Panthers did just shock Green Bay this year. Yeah, and again, no, I'm glad you brought this up, Justin. Oh, that profile pick up around. It seems like everyone's talking about it. I'm glad Justin brought this up. Like the Panthers have had some good games this year, right? Like when they beat Green Bay, right? When they destroyed the Falcons, right? So like it's not like the Panthers are not on the same level as like the Titans, right? Or the Jets, right?
Yeah.
And we did see like the Rams early in the year, they were kind of slow against the Titans, but the Rams are in mid-season form, and I'm hoping that the Panthers I hope this is a game where the Rams really show, yeah, we are the number one team in football. Keep us on top of your power rankings.
Yeah. And I fully expect that to happen. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens, but it's got to continue to stay healthy and win games, stack up those wins. It would be so cool if the Rams got the 1 seed. Like that would be sick, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. It's only happened three other times in Rams history. So that'd be cool.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. CMBR Carney's great comment here. Love this show. Both you guys have high football IQ. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah,
very encouraging, Carney.
Yeah.
Glad our guys will get. This is we should have known. This is what everyone's talking about.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. Do you guys think Roseboom is going to get a revenge game? Oh, there's a good shout out, Porter. Yeah, Christian Roseboom, former Ram, now with the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not overly worried about Roseboom.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's going to play this game because he missed last game with, I think it was a groin injury or something like that.
Oh.
He may not play this game, but if he does, I honestly think, and I love all the contributions he made for the Rams, I think the Rams are going to know a few things to do against him because Roseboom was not the perfect player and nobody is, but there were definitely some weak spots in this game that other teams exposed. I think Kyron's going to be able to set him up a couple times when he's running the ball to set up his blocker as well. But I also think with the amount of motions and shifts that the Rams do pre-snap and get the picture to change, I think they can get Roseboom to look in the wrong spots. I don't want to act like he's a terrible player, but I'm honestly not too worried about Roseboom.
No, that's fair. I'm looking here. So he is questionable with a hip injury for this game.
Okay.
As of right now, Wednesday, 9:33 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 Pacific. So that's a thing. But yeah, definitely something to watch for sure. Thanks for watching. I'm sure he means my interview with OJ Atogwe. That was one of the coolest videos I ever made. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Who do you double team? This profile picture?
I know it's gonna give you the whole night.
Justin, I can't anyway. Who do you double team? Puka or Devontae? Panthers just won't have the horses to complete.
No, that's what I think. I don't think that Panthers have the players roster-wise to match up with this Rams team.
No.
They're just too – and, the talking point has been on the red zone, all those touchdowns, within 5 yards that Devontae has scored. The teams are struggling with that, not only because Devontae is such a good receiver with his releases and his route running, but also because they've talked about it like Stafford was just talking about. They have an option to, if it's a good run look down there, they'll run the ball to Kyron. But if it looks favorable to throw it to Devontae, they can do that. And this offense just has so many weapons, so many options to where I'm with him. I don't think the Panthers have the roster and players to compete with all the different options the Rams have.
Yeah, absolutely. What?
I don't know.
I've unfortunately I've experienced both, and I guess getting punched in the ball is probably worse.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay, everyone's asking that question. Let's see.
This is interesting here. by Johnny Ripple. He says, if Roseboom plays, I'm attacking him with Ferguson.
Yeah, Johnny.
I think that's a good option. But I also think the plays where Puka inserts through the B gap and looks like he's blocking, I think you set that play up a couple times with Puka going through there to block Roseboom if Roseboom plays, or even if he doesn't. I think you do that a few times and then you do the pass option off of it. Because these linebackers, I don't look at them the same way as I do like a Fred Warner or like Roquan Smith or something like that, to
100%.
where I think you can really take advantage of them in that way for sure. But Ferguson, who knows? Like, I'm wondering when we're going to get that big Ferguson game where it's like, oh man, this is the Ferguson game, and maybe it doesn't happen this season. Maybe it happens in the playoffs.
Maybe it happens this week.
Maybe it happens this week. I would not be opposed.
Yeah. I actually think it's probably going to be against the Cardinals.
That's honestly fair. I could see that.
It just seemed like, remember, like, I think Kyron Williams' first big game was against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that one where he broke like 3 or 4 tackles of the Cardinals and went into the end zone.
Cardinal fans have nightmares about Kyron Williams still.
Yeah.
We have a couple of comments here coming in. So, Justin, good to see you. But I see a bunch of comments. Excited to see TUTU stretching the field again. And then another one, I missed it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Can't wait to see Akello and Forbes on the field again. Them two finally gonna lock down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on? What are your thoughts on all the Rams that reinforcements have arrived? Right.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to see. It's impressive to see what the Rams have done without them, but to see these players coming back, and even a guy like Darion Kendrick coming back, I think that is huge. To have that happening for the Rams, just for good depth, especially with Roger McCreary, who's going to be missing time, unfortunately, with an injury. So, yeah, I'm excited. It's just more options, more depth for a team that already has good options and good depth. And so I'm just excited to see the effect of these players coming back again. I'm curious to see how much like TUTU is going to impact things in particular because of how much we use 13 personnel. But, I'm excited. How about you?
Yeah, I'm stoked. Let me just quickly get to the super chat here. We came in here from Desino. Rams could win out. I'm very excited to see them making the Super Bowl this season.
Oh yeah,
stay healthy, Rams. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much to Desendo. He's always so generous. I appreciate you.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, we always appreciate the supers that we get. And Grandizer's here. Yes, saying it's huge. Yeah, huge. I'll say this. So for anyone who doesn't know, we should probably go over. So correct me if I'm missing anything here. So Akello Witherspoon and TUTU Atwell are coming off of injured reserve and are playing in this next game. Then the Rams also filed a claim and were awarded Darion Kendrick, former Ram, then Seahawk, got cut by the Seahawks, now back with the Rams. And he was with the Rams for pretty much all of the offseason too. Like he got beat out by Wallace. But so there's that. Am I missing anything else here?
I don't think so. I mean, they had a tight end, Nick Vanette, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of moves were made this week for the Rams. See it. But is Akello really playing this game? I thought this is like his window opening, but maybe he is playing this game.
Let me take a look.
If any of you guys know in the chat, I didn't think Akello was going to play this game. I thought this was like
opening up. Return from IR. 24 minutes ago from the Rams website. Let's see. You can keep talking. I'm just reading.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Akello would be a big add back, but go ahead.
So I haven't watched the McVay press conference today yet, but it says what was this, and this is Stu Jackson of the Rams.com saying that's how he sounds. What was a surprise was when head coach Sean McVay on Wednesday said he thinks Witherspoon will play this week, providing all goes well in practice. So
wow,
that's big.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Last I heard, I think from the Coach McVay show, he's expecting him to come back for the Cardinals game. So shout out to Akello for being able to come back. That's huge.
Yeah. Also, shout out Reggie and the Rams medical staff.
Let's go. Yeah, those guys don't get enough credit.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the thing, Jake did say it in his video that
Okay.
he believes he's coming back this week. So yeah, that's exciting, man.
I mean, you got Forbes, who's like we got to talk about Forbes. He's been playing so well
Yeah.
for the Rams. Last game, 5 pass breakups, an interception. He's had 3 games straight with an interception. And we've talked about it before, like the biggest thing for a cornerback is having confidence back, or just having confidence in general. He didn't have that when he got cut by the Commanders, which makes sense. He was probably at his lowest point in his career. But the Rams have given him so much confidence back, and he's playing. You can tell he has that back because he's not second guessing anything. He's tackling, he's breaking up the football on passes. He's been such a good addition for the Rams, and an even better story. So seeing him coupled with Akello is going to be really fun. 2 like bigger body kind of corners, Kobe Durant, the land shark, and you got so many options. So it's really cool to see Akello coming back because I'm excited to see how that works together with Emmanuel.
Dude, Emmanuel Forbes is one of my favorite storylines from the Rams this season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that yes, he was cut by the Commanders last year. Rams picked him up off of waivers. And it's going deeper than that, right? Like every Rams fan and their mother thought the Rams were going to draft a corner in the first 3 rounds of the draft. I distinctly remember in many live streams and comments on my videos, so many Ram fans, including myself, being like, oh yeah, Rams, they're drafting a corner. They might draft a corner with their first round pick or second round pick, but like definitely by their third round pick, they need to draft a corner. Like that's a top need for the Rams. Mm-hmm. Here, we were all wrong. We were all wrong. Totally. And Emmanuel Forbes, they essentially had a pseudo draft pick in picking him up because he's a young player that, drafted in the first round, given up on, but the Rams were like, no, you know what? You just need some help. You need some of that Rams TLC that they got going on. And he's just been an absolute treat to watch, especially the past couple of weeks. Yes, the Emmanuel Forbes 500 report. Yes.
Yeah, he's been so much fun. And I talked about it last week too. I've seen Commanders fans saying that they're going to be rooting for the Rams simply for Forbes, and like Cameron Curl too. But it's been such a fun story to watch. And I think Grandizer's comment already got buried. Oh yeah, he says, question, is the Akello Witherspoon injury sort of a blessing in disguise for Forbes? I think Forbes was all along going to be on the field with Akello no matter what, but maybe you could look at it that way in the sense of like covering the number 1 guys a little bit more. I don't know. But I do think Forbes would have been on there regardless out on the field for sure.
And well, I do feel like towards like at the beginning of the season, teams were throwing to Forbes more. Where like now, like you're seeing Sam Darnold be like, oh, I don't want to throw his way too much, right? Like I'm not going to say he's a full shutdown corner, but like teams are like he in the opposing teams, coaching meetings, they talk about Emmanuel Forbes,
which is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Sheriff Joe coming in here. Thanks for coming in here, Sheriff. He says Durant is coming off what might be his best game also.
Yeah.
He was everywhere. Adding 4 back into the mix feels unfair. Plus, I love DK, stoked to see him back.
Yeah.
Totally with you there too. It is funny to see what a lot of like casual fans look at as like a big weakness for the Rams and cornerback, just because they don't recognize the names. It's cool to see this as us Rams fans knowing the group and watching them become like a legitimate strength in the pairing of this cornerback room with the pass rush that the Rams have and the overall ascension on a lot of these guys being younger in the cornerback room. It's been really fun to watch in the years that the Rams have put into developing this. Like, I know Quentin Lake is out right now, but spending the draft pick on Quentin Lake in 2022 and Kobe Durant, Darion Kendrick, who's back, and seeing these guys blossom into what we are now, and seeing the Forbes storyline, Akello Witherspoon, who wasn't wanted anymore. It's just really cool to see what the Rams are doing over here.
Yeah, no, that Rams rejuvenation therapy is
Yeah.
this secondary is kind of made of it.
It's so cool. It's so cool to it's such a testament to the Rams culture, I feel like, because it's not only cornerbacks. I feel like they've brought in so many players in the past who were disgruntled or going in the wrong direction, and the Rams kind of like revived them,
Yeah,
not only for their like the numbers they were putting up on the field, but like personality wise, they're like uplifted because
yeah.
of the Rams culture. It's just like sometimes like, man, I want to work there. Like I want to be providing the clipboards for Sean McVay, and because like everybody there just seems so happy. It's so cool.
Yeah. um, I see the Rams hyperbolic chamber.
Oh
Oh,
my
it's so
gosh.
funny.
That picture I did not think would go that viral, and it's still relevant. It's so
Right?
hilarious.
Right? Johnny coming in here saying, having Spoon with Forbes gives the Rams two tall, long cornerbacks with recovery speed who can run man very well. Most teams have maybe one guy like that. Yeah, good
Good point.
point. Great point. Yeah.
Actually, they both kind of play from that trail technique.
And to be honest, like we just spent like 10 minutes talking about this Rams secondary. That show, like, how many teams can spend 10 minutes talking about their secondary?
You know, they don't do it like us.
No, like, but no, like I'm saying that is almost every team out there says like, oh yeah, like we need a corner, like yeah, our second, like you have like the Texans who have a really good secondary, right? And like
Steelers.
yeah, Steelers, but like there's not too many teams out there that have well, I can't think of a team out there like the Rams where like our secondary, sure, Forbes was like a first round pick, but like he got cut in the Ram. Like how the Rams got him was off of waivers or via trade or like they signed people or late round draft picks, right? Like that's how they built their secondary, and it's one of the best secondaries in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's just really cool to see it's not like these big name guys that everybody knows.
Yeah,
Like the way the Rams are doing this, the way they're building their team feels very organic.
yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with the way they did 2021 because that's what it required then. But it's really cool to see the Rams be able to build this good of a team in a different way than they did in 2021. And you
yeah,
almost feel like almost more like close with this team than you did in 2021. Like again, no shade on that team at all, but just the fact like you know who these players are and you're bought into their stories, and it's just cool to see like we've been with these players like since day one when they came, and there's just a lot of those homegrown kind of guys mixed in with the veterans and the key players you bring in there too. So definitely love the way that the Rams are building it.
yeah. Grandize are saying here, Rams solved two huge needs via free agency and cheap too. Huge win. Inside linebacker and cornerback. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a geez, Nate Landman. What an addition that was, and
What?
that contract,
Yeah.
getting him back for that cheap too for 3 years, like
Yeah.
oh man, I'm so glad we aren't gonna have to worry about the linebacker position when the year comes to an end.
You know what? I'm curious. Sorry, you keep talking
Okay.
because remember the Rams, like I thought they were going to re-sign Ernest Jones back in the day, right?
Mhm.
I'm curious, what did the Seahawks sign him to, and how
I
does that
thought
compare?
I thought it was like 10 to 13 million a year from what I remember.
So let's see. Yeah, March 9th, 2025. So that's this calendar year. He
Uh-huh.
signed a 3-year deal worth up to 33 million that includes 15 million guaranteed. And then Nate Landman's
Yeah.
looking at
It is interesting to see like the whole storyline was the Rams don't want to spend money on the linebacker position. They don't want to invest that whole thing. Same thing with the running back position, and the Rams have now re-signed Kyron Williams and re-signed a linebacker, and it's really cool to see like this team can adapt and change depending on what players are around them, and really cool to see Landman stick around.
So I'm sorry, this is just so interesting comparing it because so Ernest Jones, 33 million, 3-year deal, 15 million guaranteed.
Uh-huh.
Nate Landman signed a 22.5 million extension with 15.6 million. So same guaranteed amount of money.
Okay.
And it's also a 3-year deal. So we got like, and again, no shade at Ernest Jones. He was really good for the Rams when he was here. But like he wasn't causing fumbles the way that Nate Landman is, right? Like I think that's the better deal.
It's that, and you just like the players love Nate Landman, and you could tell from the fact like in training camp he was named a captain. Like after barely being with this team, there's so many options you could go to on this roster that have been here longer, and he got the captain patch, and his impact has been felt since the very first game. So just so happy we don't have to worry about. Like I'm glad it didn't go all the way to like Kevin Dotson when we brought him in from the Steelers. I think it got to like April, or no, it wasn't April. It was probably like February or something. Anyway, it was getting closer to free agency and he wasn't locked up yet. And we were like, oh, I hope they bring Kevin Dotson back. And they brought him back. I'm glad in this case, it was like you get it done during the season. You know he's locked in. You know he's bought in. And I'm sure he's having a blast too with this team.
Yeah, definitely. I see some people commenting on my comments about the contract here. Sheriff Joe saying it's a better deal, but it makes a lot less sense to move off of Jones back then if we were willing to pay. That's a really good point. That's a good point.
I just feel like there had to be more to the Ernest Jones situation than what meets the eye.
Yeah,
because the Rams were openly saying like they wanted to extend him. Like Les Snead said that himself earlier. I think it was after the draft. And I genuinely think something went down there that we don't know about.
Yeah.
That was more than just like the money.
Yeah. And again, I was just purely looking from a numbers perspective, but yeah, there's definitely a story there that we'll probably never know. I'm
always so curious about what it is, just out of curiosity, but
maybe when Ernest Jones is like in his like 40s or 50s, he'll go on like a podcast and just tell it all.
I think that it may even be before that. He may go on a podcast. We'll find out eventually. Like it feels like you always find things out like that. But this is really random. I'm curious because we know that Darion Kendrick is back with the Rams again, which I'm super stoked about.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of people in the chat saying like there's like mixed reviews. Do you know if there's a way to create a poll here to put into the chat? I feel like there's a way to do that. I'd be curious to see the feedback on if you are happy that Darion Kendrick is back or not. Because for me personally, I like it. He's familiar with this scheme. It's another very valuable corner to be added. Like it's not a guy in my mind where you put him in, you're like, oh no, he's just about to get cooked like left and right. And again, he knows the scheme. He knows the Rams. Now he knows the Seahawks, and he's more familiar with them for when we play them again Thursday night. So I like the move, but I know that there's kind of mixed reactions going on with that.
Okay. I can start a poll here.
Okay.
Do you like the DK or no? I'll use Kendrick.
While you're typing that out, I'm going to bring up this thing from Deuce Falco. He says, I think the Ernest Jones and Roger McCreary trades are linked. That's interesting because if I remember correctly, the front office that traded for Ernest Jones is different from the one that the Titans have now. So I wouldn't expect that's linked. I think you look at a trade that was linked would be more like when the Rams traded Kenny Young to the Broncos and then they got Von Miller back like that same week. I think you could argue that, but for this, I think those were two different front offices. So I don't know, though. Maybe you're on something.
So I put the poll up. I'm not sure if it will appear for people watching your chat now that I think of it. So sorry about that, anyone watching. No. But the votes are coming in hot here.
Okay, I'm curious.
So we'll give it like a couple minutes and let people vote, and then we'll reveal what it is. My vote is I'm excited about it. I really am. I like Darion Kendrick. I feel like injuries kind of derailed his career a little bit. He was fighting for a roster spot this offseason. He got beat out, but he quickly got picked up by Seattle. And you know, for whatever reason, the Seahawks just love signing Rams players.
Yeah, Cam Akers today.
Yeah.
This is they just love to be the Rams. Yeah. Striker's Corner said he had 2 picks for the Hawks. I just think he gets burned. For me, I think with his time with the Rams, I didn't see that happen a ton. I think a lot of what people didn't like about him was like the pass interference calls he would get. And there definitely was a stretch where it felt like there was almost one a game that would be a pass interference on him. But I like how aggressive he is with it. And I, when the Rams drafted him, I actually liked him more than I did Kobe Durant, which is crazy to think about now with how much time has passed. But it felt like he was a guy who was locked in. There were opportunities where it looked like he was about to jump her out. I still remember one against the 49ers where he almost jumped her out and had a pick six. But regardless of what I think of him, the Rams like him enough to be able to come back. And I just think it's good to add depth. And again, you have somebody who spent time in Seattle, has a little bit more intel maybe. But I do like the move.
This makes you laugh by Nolan. Seattle want to be the team.
The knockoff Timu Rams. They really do. It hasn't worked for them though.
He also said if he's bringing that Seattle intel, playing next level. I see it. The poll, just so you know, we have 11 votes. 82% say they like the Kendrick pickup. 9% say no, and 9% is indifferent.
Okay.
So
we will have an over Rams action segment about him later. So I would be curious to see what the chat says with that.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, let's and Eric is the friendliest Seahawks fan on the internet. That's part of the Rams Radar community. But yeah, Eric, that's Rams House. You can find his channel. I think I have it linked in there. But anyway, we would love for you to subscribe to Rams House. Absolutely.
I feel like I've seen him in my comments before. I remember it was after the Rams beat the Seahawks. He was like, "Hey, congrats on the win" or something. I've seen him around for sure, but I appreciate how respectful he is.
Yeah. Oh no, Eric's like one of the coolest people, and
he's so cool.
Yeah, and he's a Seahawks fan, but that's okay because
that's okay. Cool. We all have our differences.
Yeah,
that's
okay. No, we can't all be perfect, right?
No.
You know what? That's a good segue. Speaking of not being perfect, that would be a perfect time to talk about over Rams action. You up for that?
All right. Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys. Over Rams Action Wednesday is here, Thanksgiving edition for all my Americans here. So, Over Rams Action Wednesday is a topic in a segment that is similar to what Chris Brockman and Rich Eisen do on Overreaction Monday. If you guys have ever seen that, if you guys haven't seen that, it is basically some potential hot takes being pitched to Peo Time here and to you guys in the chat, but they're all going to be centered around the Rams, of course, because we're surrounded by Rams stuff here. Yep. And your guys' job is to say if this is a fair take or if it's a hot take. And hot takes around here we call over Rams actions, just a little spinoff of over reactions. So, number one, the Rams will put up more points this game against the Panthers than the Panthers do the entire rest of the year.
Oh man, that's okay. I gotta look at their schedule here. That's hot. Okay, you're coming in hot here, Rams House. Let me pull up.
And just to be fair, just so there's no confusion, I'm not meaning total combined points for the Panthers the rest of the year. I just mean in any one game the rest of the year for the Panthers, they are not going to score more than the Rams do in this game.
Okay. That makes more sense. I thought you meant like combined there. I was like, oh, I have to look.
No, for that. that would be crazy hot.
Okay, that makes way more sense. Here, let me share my screen and bring up the Panthers schedule for everyone for context here. I'll zoom in because sharing is caring. So they play the Rams, the Saints, the Bucks, the Seahawks, and the Bucks again. Whew. I feel like the Panthers have at least one more kind of big game in them. But so, for example, you're saying if the Rams got 30 points this game, you don't think in any of these games the rest of the year the Panthers would score 30 or more points?
Correct. That is the take.
Okay. So, assuming the Rams put up I don't think the Rams will put up like a 50 burger on the Panthers.
No.
But like I definitely think they break 30 on them.
Mm-hmm.
So Could the Panthers score 30 on the Saints? Yes, absolutely. Like, just run it with Rico Dottle, right? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
could they do it against the Bucks defense? Bucks are super banged up. I could see it in one of those games. I don't see it
Divisional.
against the Seahawks. So I'm going to say yes. That is an over Rams action.
Okay.
As we kind of talk it out here. Yeah.
I honestly think, while I could see the Panthers doing it, I think that the Rams are going to put up more points this game than the Panthers do the rest of the year in any of their games. That's just the feeling I get. I think the
Okay.
Rams are going to put up some good points this game, and I just don't know if I see the Panthers doing it. But as we mentioned earlier, the Panthers are incredibly unpredictable, so you can't really bank anything on it. But Ram Showcase says, I think the Panthers will do it. I just don't feel like we go off this week. That's
Okay.
interesting.
Okay.
I feel pretty confident the Rams put up over 30 this week. I just really like this matchup. Let's see. I thought there was a lot of people thought I was saying something else, so that's what I'm seeing there. But yeah, that's what.
When you first said it, I was like, "Oh, that's hot."
Yeah. All right. To pivot off of that one, we're staying kind of in the NFC South here, and we're talking about this Rams first round pick once again, with that they got from the Falcons.
Yep.
The Rams' first round pick from the Falcons will be larger in number with where it places than the number of wins by the Cardinals at the end of the year.
The Rams' first round pick from the Falcons will be larger in number of wins, but so hypothetically, if the pick was pick number 3, you don't think the Cardinals win 3 more games this year?
That's the question. Do you think the Falcons pick for us will get to that high, to like number 3? That's kind of where this question is.
I got you. So right now, let me go to Tankathon. Give me a sec here.
Let me pull up this Cardinals record too, because I forgot. I'm very curious.
Okay, so right now, it's here on Tankathon actually. Yeah,
they're 3-8.
Yeah, so we're going in. Cardinals are the 9th pick. The Falcons would be the 11th, or the Rams, right? So they're 1 game behind. Okay, so you're saying the Cardinals pick. So can the Cardinals win a game this year is what you're asking.
Or does this pick really continue to tank and go so high that it's lower than the Cardinals' amount of wins?
So the Cardinals play the Buccaneers, the Rams, the Texans. Oh, pardon me, folks. The Cardinals play the Bucks, the Rams, the Texans, the Falcons, the Bengals, and unless they somehow steal a game, I don't see the Cardinals winning another game this year.
Yeah, I do kind of tend to agree here with what Sheriff Joe Bag says. He says, yeah, the Falcons accidentally win games here and there. I think it ends closer to 11-13. The draft pick does. That's kind of where I'm at. I think that at highest, the Rams draft pick will get maybe number 8.
Yeah.
And even at that, I don't think the Cardinals get more than 8 wins at all. That's not even possible, is it?
No. Yeah. I think maybe the Cardinals somehow, like, they've had a couple of close games, but they've found ways to lose games. Maybe they get one more win. I mean, people forget they beat Dallas. Not too long ago,
that's
right?
true.
But maybe that was just like their one win where it's like, yep, okay, you won, you beat Dallas, right? Like that was
just kind of like when the Rams in 2022 beat the Broncos. Is like that was our big win that we had. We're like, yes. This is funny from Juno Trooper. He says, you're too smart for us, Rams house.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we have to think about it. You're making us think, but that's good. It's good.
Before we move on, I want to address this comment. He says, how does the Falcons record affect Rams' first round pick? It affects it because the first round pick that we have, one of them came from the Falcons in this draft for this year's draft. So if the more losses that the Falcons have, the higher our draft pick from them gets, and then vice versa. So we want the Falcons to lose so that our pick gets higher, selfishly. All right, number 3, Harrison Mevis, the Rams' newest kicker, who's just been phenomenal, has not missed a kick.
Yep.
will have more field goal or point after attempts than rookie wide receiver Ted McMillan has catches for the Panthers.
Okay. In honor of Harrison Mevis, do you mind if I play his drop?
Let's do it.
Yes. The thick kick. Oh man. I'm gonna say that's an over Rams action. I think that McMillan, they'll get him involved. He's been having a good rookie year. And to be honest, oh wait, you included point after attempts.
I did. Made it a
Okay.
little more complicated.
So, but like I think he's gonna get like 8 to 10 catches this game.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how how many yards he'll get or how successful those will be, but I think he gets like 8 to 10 catches.
But what if we have a Kello on him or Emmanuel Forbes maybe to lock him down a bit? You never know.
But like they could scheme him to get like a screen pass catch. And then he gets tackled.
Yeah.
Right.
To be fair, looking at this last 49ers game, this is just one game. He had 2 catches.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't realize it was that low.
You never obviously it could be 10 catches this week. You never know. I just think the Rams defense could do enough.
I think you're right. I don't think that's an over Rams action. You talked me out of it. Yep.
Let's go. I did it, guys.
Yeah.
Ram Showcase says, "Oh, that's a good one. It'll be close, I'm sure, but I'm going Tet gets maybe 7 or 8 catches."
Okay.
I think that's fair. I just also think that I have faith in this Rams defense, but you could get those empty calorie kind of catches there. That was the only one that I saw. I said Forbes is such a steal. I agree with that. But yeah, that'll be interesting to track. I'm gonna have to try to remember this for when the game's over to look back and see if he had more catches than Mevis has field goal attempts and point after attempts.
Definitely.
All right, number 4. This one is more of an off-season kind of question. We know how big Quentin Lake is for the Rams, and maybe people are forgetting because he's hurt now, but he is a big thing for this defense, not only all the roles he plays, but also his communication. We also know that Byron Young has been phenomenal for the Rams, and his price is only going up right now with the more pressures and sacks he gets. It's more important for the Rams to re-sign Quentin Lake for this defense than it is to re-sign Byron Young.
You're torturing us tonight, Rams. Oh man, what are we supposed to do with that? Oh man. It's more important for the Rams to re-sign Quentin Lake than it is to re-sign Byron Young. What am I supposed to do with that, Rams house? I wanted to have a nice, pleasant stream just talking about the Rams, and here you go making us choose between Quentin Lake and Byron
Stressful.
Young. See, Carney says, ouch. Yeah. I want to cry. No, I think it's I'm having trouble saying it. Oh, I think it's true.
It's tough.
I think I'm seeing Rams Showcase is able to articulate it better. That is true, but unfortunately, it's true. Pass rushers are easier to find. Stewart already looks awesome. Yeah, I think, and because Byron Young has been awesome, right? And like, I hope they find a way to re-sign everybody, right? Like, I know that Aaron Donald dead money is coming off the books, more and more. They got to figure out what they're doing with Stafford. But yeah, like, if Stafford retires and the Rams have to have like a lower price quarterback, then you could probably re-sign them both. But I'm optimistic they could re-sign both Quentin Lake and Byron Young under certain circumstances. But if they have to choose one or the other, I'm gonna say yeah, because there's not many good safeties in the NFL, right? Like there's a lot of bad safeties. There's a lot of like mediocre or average safeties. But those safeties that are on that next level, and Quentin Lake has developed into one of them, right? And Yeah, I'm gonna say that's not an over Rams action.
It's hard. This is like a torture question here.
Yeah.
I really like Lake, and I think the versatility is the biggest thing. I think if Lake was just like pure, just straight up safety,
Yeah.
just playing deep back there, I think the Rams would probably pick Byron Young,
Yeah.
just because historically they don't value safeties that well. But he's a team captain. He's a huge communicator. The amount of film study he does, different hats that he wears on the defense, it's really hard to choose between the two. Where my mind goes with this is Byron Young is getting expensive. Edge rushers get paid a ton of money. It's going to be up to $50 million eventually. Like it's
Yeah.
come to that point, which is crazy. But you're going to have to pay Jared Verse
Yeah.
across him. So the way I see it is like I'd love to see the Rams keep him around, and I'd love him to take a like cheap contract, Byron Young. But the edge rusher market is just expensive, and I think the Rams are going to look at it long term, like drafting guys kind of higher in rounds to be that opposite edge rusher to Verse and paying Verse the big contract. Because if you allocate like almost $100 million or just around that amount for both Verse and Young, and you still have guys like Puka to pay, you still have Quentin Lake to pay, Steve Avila, like at some point you're going to have to let some players go. So we don't have to worry about it now. That's
Yeah.
the good thing. It's
Yeah.
just a hard decision, though.
Yeah. And the reality is we've seen this before, right? Like if you remember like Troy Hill or John Johnson, they play really well for the Rams, then they go get their big money contract somewhere else, right? Like
Yeah,
and then eventually they come and find their way back to the Rams.
yeah.
And so
We love that. We love that
yeah,
storyline.
yeah.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. Let's wash that one out of our system here.
Yeah.
Number 5.
We gotta go
We're going to
barf.
go on a positive note here to finish off. By year's end, we will be thankful that the Rams got Darion Kendrick back because he will either have a large impact play or he will have a huge interception.
Ooh, I like this one. By year's end, we will be thankful that Rams got Darion Kendrick back. A large impact play will be made. So let's describe. So like a pick six or like a game-saving interception or like, knocking down a pass in like a big fourth down moment.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, I like this from Sheriff Joe Bags. DK is going to get a
I
pick.
can oddly enough see that.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Yeah, you know what? This is a cornerback room that's been making plays, and I think Darion Kendrick, he's just got to come and drink that Rams rejuvenation, soup or whatever it is they're feeding them, and I think DK could have that game again. I don't think DK turns into like this shutdown corner all of a sudden or something, but like a play like what Kobe Durant did against the Bucks, where he took it away from Kate Otten and was like, "I'm not going to let Baker Mayfield tackle me." I totally could see something like that happening for sure.
The hard part with this one is like, when do we see Darion Kendrick get on the field?
Yeah,
Because I see this being a move kind of like depth for the Rams in case emergency, and he's a really good corner to have in case emergency. But like, do you really see Darion Kendrick coming into this team after the momentum they've built, reps they've gotten in this defense, and all of that, like unseating a Darius Williams or a Kobe Durant, Emmanuel Forbes or a Kella Witherspoon?
yeah,
That's the only thing in this, but injuries do happen, especially for like cornerbacks. Like soft tissue things can happen and all that, to where an opportunity could open up for Darion Kendrick, and all it takes is him to make that one play for this to be right.
Yep. No, I definitely I agree, and so we're gonna say that's a. Are we saying that's an over Rams action?
I don't know where to go with this. I'm going to say no,
Okay.
just because I think that there could be some injuries to open up a spot for him, and I hope not. But like, we got a lot of weeks left in the season. This could be in the playoffs. This could be like a championship game. By that point, the Rams have some cornerbacks where he steps up and makes a play. So I don't know. I think we'll be good either way, though, whatever happens, whether this happens or it doesn't happen. Because if it doesn't happen, then he probably wasn't needed.
Okay. You know what? I know I know we said we were maybe not going to do what's more likely this week, but I've been thinking of a few as we've been doing the show.
Ooh.
Are you cool if we do them? Like I'll type them up here so everyone can see them.
Yeah.
But are you cool if we play a little bit of what's more likely to finish off the show?
Yeah. Little impromptu rapid fire style. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready. I can be reading some comments here if you want while you're.
Yeah. But take a couple comments and I will.
Okay.
I'll get back. Yeah.
Okay. Old Man Ghost or Bruce says Fred Warner and Puka Nakua talk 49ers versus Rams, Matthew Stafford mentality, and top 3 NFL wide receivers. I did see that. I actually listened to that yesterday, and that was a good podcast. Fred Warner definitely got his shots in against the Rams a few times, but we got the better record than the 49ers right now, so that doesn't really matter. Grandizer says, did Kendrick addition fill an open spot in the 53, or was a player cut, moved to practice squad? I believe McCreary was put on IR, which obviously doesn't fill up a roster spot for the Rams, and I think that's how it opened up for Kendrick to be able to come back. But anybody knows, correct me if I'm wrong. Ram Showcase has one of the most controversial takes I think I've ever seen. I like football. I don't know if I can agree with you on this one. Football's overrated. No, I'm kidding. I love football too. We're going to get some nice Thanksgiving football too tomorrow. That'll be fun. Stress-free. Rams haven't played on Thanksgiving, I think, since the 70s. So I'm kind of happy about that. I know a lot of Rams fans want the Rams to be able to play on Thanksgiving to watch them. For me, I like my Thanksgivings to be stress-free, enjoy family time, do all the things you do without having to worry about football, stressful football. So I'm kind of happy that the Rams don't play tomorrow, but it's been quite a long time since they played. Let's see. The Rams versus Panthers history, old NFC West rivalry, has been played 23 times, including one postseason game, with the Panthers winning 13 games and the Rams winning 10 games. Panthers lead the series 13-10-0. That is interesting. If you guys listen to Rams Showcase, you guys know the game history. Every time he does a little game preview, he shouts out the history. So we gotta make that record a little bit better here, catch up a little bit. Kind of surprised a little bit to see where the record stands between the two here over the history, but I guess in the past the Panthers were definitely a lot better. Juno Trooper, Rams House. I know you love Jalen Ramsey. I do. Are you more of a defensive guy like myself? I don't really know if I would go one side or another. I think players like Jalen Ramsey stand out to me so much just because of how unique they are. The reason that I like Ramsey so much is, first off, like his personality was just off the charts. But it's cool to see that kind of get reined in when he came to the Rams. Like you didn't see him involved in as many like dramatic storylines. He kind of grew up like as a man with the Rams. But I loved how aggressive he was and how good of a physical tackler he was. Like for you to say he's a cornerback, I think would surprise a lot of people just based on his physicality. I love the fact he's a Christian. Like there's so many different things about him that I admire. And so I do like defense. I like offense. I don't know if I'd proclaim to one side or another, but Jalen Ramsey, like he was just such a nice corner, such a rare find there. RMS W22 says Rams announced 5 moves, including cornerback Roger McCreary to injured reserve November 26th. Okay, yeah, so that did open up the roster spot there. Rams winning game, Los Angeles Rams 34-7 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good game. That was a blast. I think you could kind of tell early on that the Rams had that one. Striker's Corner says, I played semi-pro 15 years at linebacker. Can I convince you guys that I played linebacker? Probably not. I'm super skinny. I'd be more like Forbes probably if I played football. But that's super awesome. Shot by Nolan says, I hope they never play on Thanksgiving. Same. I just like what I watch them still, yeah. But even like when they played on Christmas against the Broncos, I was like, like I don't really want them to play on Christmas because it's like you want to be able to relax. Luckily, the Rams didn't make it stressful football on Christmas against the Broncos. That was one of the most fun games I think we've seen. But yeah, I'm definitely glad that they don't play on Thanksgiving. And Ram Showcase agrees. I love that we don't play on Thanksgiving. Hated that we played on Christmas. So we're on the same page here. That's crazy. Payo Time, you're back here. You got some what's more likely, but it's just the Rams?
These were all off the top of my head. So hopefully hopefully they make sense. But so for those of you who've never played before, what's more likely? It's a ripoff of the Rich Eisen show. I will give 2 options, And Rams House and the chat yourselves will react and say which one do you think is more likely of the two scenarios. So, for example, what's more likely? Stafford wins MVP or the Cards win a game this season?
Wow. That's a good one. It's hard because, like, I'm getting more and more convinced that Stafford's going to win MVP.
Yeah.
Earlier on in the year, I was not as convinced, not because I didn't think he deserved it, but because I feel like the media wouldn't want to give it to him. There's just something with Stafford that the media never has really liked too much. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I think that the numbers are getting so outrageously good.
Yeah.
And he's getting so much love now to where I'm like, I could see this MVP thing for Stafford. And like, we all know that he's capable of it. Cards win a game though. Like, a team can win any week. I'm just going to go with the optimistic Stafford wins MVP.
Yeah.
Continue the pace here.
I see we got the MVP chants in the chat here. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it too. They're all on the same page here as you. Yeah. So it looks like
Sheriff Joe
Clone 9 wins the MVP.
Yeah. That's awesome, Nolan.
I love that.
I love it. Sheriff Joe is saying Stafford for MVP is basically guaranteed by now, as Drake and Taylor are coming off bad days. I'm feeling extremely confident Stafford gets MVP. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so happy for him if he ends up getting that done. Like,
can Cardinals opponents forfeit?
Jeez.
We just don't want to play the Cards this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I got another one here for you. Okay, you guys ready? I hope you're all sitting down for this one.
All right.
Who's more likely to get a rushing touchdown versus the Panthers? Kyren Williams or any other Rams player?
I say Kyren Williams. I think I could see any other Rams player in a game like this. You kind of hinted to like Jordan Whittington, maybe. Yeah. I'd go Kyren Williams, though. I think he didn't score last week. I think he gets in the end zone this week.
Yeah, me and Strikers are on the same page here. I think Corum gets a rushing touchdown this week.
I could oddly enough see that in my head, like at the Panthers Stadium with that lighting in that early window. Like I could see it. I'll go Kyren though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. A lot of people will agree with you. That's cool. Respect. Okay. Okay. This one. Okay. What's more likely? The Rams remain first in power rankings because we all care about power rankings all of a sudden now that the Rams are I'll take. Actually, no, that's not true. I still don't care about power rankings. Anyway, it's cool to hear about. Okay. Anyway, but Rams remain first in power rankings, or Sean McVay calls Akella Weatherspoon stud in his post-game press conference.
This is the one where I wanted. It's my weekly one of hoping I could say both, but man, I think. Well, what power rankings are you talking about? Because I could see one of them being like, "Oh, the Chiefs, they're the number one team all of a sudden."
Let's say like the majority of power rankings out there.
Okay. But they're both so likely. That's what I'm having a hard time with. You did a good job here.
That's the point. It's supposed to be hard.
Gosh.
We've been doing this show for weeks. We got to up our game, right?
We do. You definitely did.
I mean, if the Rams are the best team of football, we have to be the best what's more likely an over Rams action show out there.
That's true. It's a high standard. It's a high bar we have to clear, but we're doing it.
Yeah.
Geez, this is so hard because I legitimately see both of them happening. All
right.
I'm just going to say McVay calls Akella a stud. Just not because I think the Rams are going to lose, but I feel like the Eagles, for whatever reason, could go up there. The Chiefs, like, let's say the Chiefs win like 30-0 somehow against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, and they somehow go up to number one.
Yeah.
But that's probably more so me being like, McVay always calls his players studs. So I'm going to go that one.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, I got one more. You want one more?
We got one more?
One more.
I think we'll get.
Yeah. What's more likely? Rams win out so I worded this weird. The Rams win out the rest of the season, or the rest of the NFC West misses the playoffs.
Rams win out for sure. they've got some tough games for sure. But I think out of the two NFC West, you're at least getting two teams from the NFC West in the playoffs. I think Rams and Seahawks are guaranteed, but the Niners are right there too. So that's what I'm going with.
That's probably true. That's probably true. You know what? That sounded more clever in my head.
Yeah. It's later. It makes sense.
Yeah. I was trying to go off strong. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I could see the Niners missing the playoffs, but I think the Seahawks they've won too much.
Yeah, I agree. And well, I mean, the Niners are playing such easy teams the rest of the year too. Like, I would just be so surprised if it was just the Rams that made the playoffs out of the West.
That's fair. Do you think the Rams will have to play both the Seahawks and the Niners in the playoffs?
Both? I don't think so. I think one for sure though. Because I still have a feeling I have a feeling the Seahawks are going to make the championship game, and I think the Rams are too. I don't see both though. What do you think?
Let me bring this up here. Give me a sec.
All right.
So this is the playoffs.
Nice little graphic there.
Oh, apparently there's no data on this page here. Let me refresh.
What's the point of the page?
Come on, NFL.com. That's weird.
Huh.
Okay, fine. I'll go over to ESPN. Thanks.
Take that, NFL.com.
I tried to use NFL.com. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't care about the AFC right now. Okay, so right now you got the Rams, the Eagles, the Bears, the Bucks, the Seahawks, the Packers, and the Niners. That would be the playoffs if they ended today. Now, there's still a lot of game to be played. I think, like right now, it's crazy. The Lions are outside the playoff picture.
That is crazy.
So, assuming, like, I don't see the Falcons or the Vikings or the Cardinals making any kind of push. Like, okay, yeah, the Giants are officially eliminated.
Sorry, Giants.
Yeah, so let's cut it off here. I don't see any of these teams making a push to win get in the postseason here. So Dallas, they're 3 games behind fifth, or no, because they have a tie. They're 2.5 or whatever it is. So I'm pretty sure if the Eagles are going to make the playoffs at some in some capacity. They're probably going to win their division.
Definitely.
And the Bears have just I don't see, unless a colossal collapse comes, I don't see the Bears not making the playoffs. So right now the Eagles would play the Niners in the playoffs. So there, and then think of it, if the Niners beat the Eagles, it would be the Niners playing the Rams in the second round.
I just think that the 49ers are going to move up in their seeding. Yeah. I don't think they're going to stay at 7, and that's why I just think the Rams are going to only play one NFC West team.
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't it weird, though, how if the Bears beat the Eagles on Black Friday, the Bears are going to be the 2 seed?
You're right.
That's just so weird to think about.
Wow.
And my dad's a Bears fan. I've seen most of their games, and even he's like, I don't know how we're 8-3. Crazy.
Interesting. Very interesting. I don't think it's crazy though to think that the Rams somehow have to play both the Seahawks and the Niners in the playoffs.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, there's still lots of football left to be played for sure, but I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, Sheriff Joe over here says no, not both. Our path is going to be Detroit, then Seattle, both at home. I'd love to beat Detroit in the playoffs personally. That'll be fun. Cool. And then
there's a good question to you and the chat.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, say the Rams go on a Super Bowl run, who would you want them to play? Let's assume they get the number 1 seed. Who would you want them to play in the divisional round, the championship round, and in the Super Bowl?
I'd say I'd want them to play the Niners, the Lions. No, wait. It's either Lions or Eagles.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of This isn't like realistic or anything. This is just what I would want to see ideally. I would want them to beat the Lions, to beat the Eagles, both teams that gave them losses in the playoffs,
Yep.
and then go to the Super Bowl. And AFC, it would be cool to see them beat the Chiefs, I
Yeah.
think. Because I think also basically most of the world would be rooting for the Rams too in that case too.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm thinking I'd love for them to beat the Eagles. No. First round, I'd love for them to beat the Lions.
Yeah.
Then I would love for them to beat the Eagles. Then I would love, based on how things are shaping up, if they destroyed the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
I would love that too.
Yeah, well, Granddad,
revenge.
Granddad knows me. He knows what I'm thinking. I mean, I've said it before. Like, I know most Ram fans, it's like the Niners are your least favorite team, and they're up there for me. But for me, the Pats are a little above them just because of the 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, they taking 2 from us, like that's just annoying. And
No.
the Patriots don't bother me as much now with like Drake May and the way they look now. If it was still Belichick and Tom Brady, I'd be like, oh yeah, like all day.
But like, I still want the Patriots to lose every game the rest of their existence. Like,
that's fair. They did some pretty crazy things to us. Sheriff Joe Bag says, I want Detroit, Philly, Denver. And he says, as a Colorado native, LA Rams fan, I really want to see the Rams Broncos Super Bowl.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Obviously, we're both in Colorado here. I don't really have anything against the Broncos, and I don't think you do either. No. But that would be a little bit fun with all the Colorado people rooting for the Broncos and the Rams to beat them. I think, wasn't it there's that guy who did like magic or something with the Rams that came in that said like Rams beat the Broncos 23-14 in the Super Bowl or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I didn't fully understand what that was, but yeah.
I think it was just a weird like magic trick thing. But yeah, I think that Rams Broncos Super Bowl would be cool. Probably some really good defense in that game because both have some really good defenses there.
Yeah. Bruce and I are on the same page. Still haven't forgot about Spygate.
Oh gosh. Yeah. There's some strange things with those Patriots for sure. It's Juno Trooper says my life would be complete if we beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
I don't
same
think,
page,
that's not a hot take, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, we got CMD Carney says I still hope for the Rams versus Steelers Super Bowl rematch. Stafford versus Rodgers.
That'd be cool.
That would be.
I hadn't thought about that. That would be pretty cool, Carney. Good take.
I'm honestly not super opposed. I mean, if the Rams make the Super Bowl in general, the one thing that I hope doesn't happen is for them to play a team that was represented in my family again. Because
your brother's a Bengals fan.
Yeah, my brother to be a Bengals fan and to be rooting, but him being in the same house rooting for the Bengals and me not be able to be like super fully happy because like, oh man, I kind of feel bad for him a little bit. Like, I just want to see the Rams to be able to play a team that family doesn't like in some capacity.
Yeah. No. Yeah, is this still awkward between you and Johnny whenever you talk about that?
No, it's only awkward if he walks in the room and I'm watching like Aaron Donald sack Burrow to throw him down. It was this really weird thing of like, for some reason, like every year when I rewatch that Rams Bengals Super Bowl, because it's a necessity to do at least once a year.
Absolutely.
Every time I happen to be watching that highlight or the full game again, he would always come in at the part where either Cooper Kupp scored the touchdown to put him ahead, or where Donald threw Burrow down and the Rams won the Super Bowl. So that's the only point when it's awkward. But I'm like, we're years removed at this point. So
that's funny.
Ooh, he says, okay, I'll go with Chiefs versus Rams.
Okay, yeah,
that'd be fun too. I don't think it would be the like Monday night game all over again with all those points being scored because both those defenses are actually really good. Yeah. But Chiefs versus Rams would definitely be fun for sure.
Yeah. Well, man, this has been a fun show. Thanks everyone for engaging with us and hanging out with us here on First Down Rams. Ramses, what do you got coming up this week?
Yeah, I will be doing my post-game reaction to the Panthers-Rams game on Sunday. Should be a live stream for that one. And we'll see if there's something else that gets thrown in there. But the over Rams action will be uploaded tomorrow, clipped out for those who weren't able to catch that. And so that's what it's looking like for the rest of the week. How about you?
So I do have a surprise video I'm working on. I can't say it's not overly complicated, but it's I'm hoping to get it out tomorrow. It might not be till Friday.
Okay.
But I do want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there who celebrates American Thanksgiving. As a Canadian, I also celebrate American Thanksgiving. That I'm thankful to watch football all day and eat good food. But yeah, so I hope to get a video. I'm gonna let it be a surprise. I'm not exactly sure how to word it yet, but it's coming out. I'm working on it. I was researching for it today, hopefully getting it out tomorrow. But then, of course, I'll be doing a watch party for the Rams versus Panthers on Sunday. Excited to see y'all there. And then I'll have my before and after Rams reaction, which those have been like one of the most fun video series I've ever done on this channel, which is really good.
Those are so much fun. And so are your watch parties. I definitely encourage those who haven't checked out Payo Time's watch parties on Sunday to go and check them out there, especially for the fake phone call at halftime. That's always so funny.
Fake phone. It's funny. There was one time years ago, someone actually thought I was talking to Sean McVay at halftime.
No way.
And so ever since then, I'm always like, just so everyone knows, this is a skit. This is like a fake. This isn't actually happening. And I'm like, this is not a real phone. It's a heat pump remote.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Payo, for your time tonight and just talking Rams. Always a blast. Thank you, everybody in the chat who talked Rams with us. So many people, I can't even go down the list because there were so many people that were coming in here. But thank you all. I hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow and that you guys all stay safe. And we'll see you next Wednesday for First Down Rams.
As always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out.
Let's go Rams.
Thank you very much.